In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, you cross-eyed, fucking curly-haired suck faces? Welcome to another episode of Genius Brain. We are shooting this in the morning because we're getting shit done, and we're here to talk about stuff. I am your co-host, David So.
And I am your other co-host, Joe Jitsukawa, baby.
Yo, so my parents, I flew my parents in from Sacramento.
Oh, what? For your birthday?
Dude, I forget. Like, I love my dad, but I forget how fucking annoying he is sometimes because he has this very weird habit. You know, like when you chill with somebody, it's okay for there to be like silences.
Yeah.
For example, this is an appropriate time for there to be a silence is when you're watching a fucking movie.
Yeah, you just kind of watch and chill.
So we're watching shit. And my dad has this very odd habit of when we watch stuff, he always has to say something. And I think like the annoying part about him having to say something is that it doesn't even have anything to do with the movie.
Oh.
Like we were watching the movie and then my dad out of nowhere, he goes, "Toilet seats are interesting, huh?" And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? Right? He goes, you know, toilet seats are just, sometimes they're cold when you sit on them and sometimes they're warm. And I look at my dad and I'm like, what are you saying? Like, why are you saying this right now? Right? He's just talking. I'm like, okay, even if that had something to do with the movie, why are you talking right now? Like, don't talk. Like, just watch the movie. So my mom gets so annoyed.
What was his point?
There is no point.
He just wanted to start a conversation in the middle of the fucking movie?
Exactly. What the like, we're watching this movie in my apartment, and then my mom gets annoyed, so she goes, okay. She gets up, and then she walks into my room and just starts watching shit on her phone.
Wow.
She's so annoyed.
Because she has to deal with that 24/7.
Yeah.
Are your parents together all day, every day?
All the time. Dang. That's why when I see, because you know, because Bart and Gio, they work really well together, right?
Yeah.
And they have their own system. But even when they work together, they're still kind of working separately.
Yeah, they have separate space. They might be in the same environment, but they might not be in the same meeting. But yeah, you're right. Yeah,
they're doing something separate. But
Yeah.
even when I see that, like it reminds me of my parents because I see them working together side by side all the fucking time. And I think that's why they get into so many fights. It's not so much that they're so different or they hate each other. It's more like if you see somebody's fucking face 24 hours a day, 7 days a fucking week,
you don't get a break from their energy.
No,
yeah,
because they work at the same business, and they have to look at each other all the fucking time.
Damn. So and they don't have the skills in their mind to like resolve conflict. And
then my mom, we were in the car, and then same thing when we were in the car going back home. My dad is just talking, and then my mom's just like, "Shut up!" Exactly, that's exactly what she said. She's like, "Shut up!" My dad's just cracking up. She goes, "See, your mom has to hear this all the time, but now you guys have to hear it." So my dad even knows. He even knows he's doing this shit.
So he's probably just got like a lot of pent up shit going on, and he's bored out of his brain.
That's
and
exactly.
He's kind of like. You know, like if you leave a dog home too long, and then you finally take him out to walk, he can't. He wants to smell everything, pool, fucking every single dog, every single person. They're just too much.
That's exactly what my dad is, dude. It was so hard to deal with, and it's so innocent, but at the same time, it's just I have to sit there and just take it, and I just don't understand. It's like I don't mind him talking, but it's at the most inappropriate times, and the subject matter doesn't make any sense. So I don't even know what to say. Like even during the film, he goes, "My brother has a girlfriend." And he knows her fucking name.
Yeah.
Like he knows her fucking name, right? And he goes, "Oh, you know, Elizabeth." And my brother's like, "What? Why did you call her that?" Right? He goes, "Well, I saw it on her Instagram." He goes, "Yeah, but that's her middle name, and you know that's her middle name. So why are you saying that?" Right? And he goes, "Oh, should I call her something different?" And my brother's like, you just want to talk. This is the talk at this point. Like, just don't say anything.
Like, what does he want to say?
I don't know.
He's like a child.
Yeah.
He's like beating around the bush, and he's like, "Oh, you know, toilet seats." When are you gonna get married?
Yeah,
you know, he's trying to open up into that or something.
Yeah, there's no point to the conversation, so I don't know where to take it. So even if you are talking, it's like, where is this conversation going, dude? Where? It's like we're in a boat. He just opens up a sail and he goes, "Time for adventure." You know?
Does he watch all your stuff?
Not all. My mom does, but not my dad.
Oh, because what if he watches this and he's like, "Shiba, that's not what it is." And he calls you, "Hey, I have adult ADD, motherfucker."
I know exactly what I want to say.
They don't have friends like to break up that
They do. So they do have friends.
So like, they just annoy each other, or what's going on?
You know what it is too? My parents don't have a lot of friends. And it's not because, my dad was a pastor, so he's a social human being. But my dad's very selective about the people that he keeps because he's been fucked over so many times by people. So like I think in our lives, like because he's a pastor and he's so giving, he created a decent community. But when you give so much, sometimes like internally you expect somebody to reciprocate that same type of love back, but a lot of the times for my dad's case, he got burned so much.
Damn, he's an innocent girl that got cheated on too much, and then she became a hoe.
So my dad's like, she's
like, fuck all guys.
So that's why, like, even for me, I become like highly skeptical of people, is because my dad built that in me, because I've seen him get fucked over so many times. Like I've witnessed it. You know what I mean? So my dad, we have like a few friends, but it's like friends that he's kept since ever. Yeah. Like, Victor Kim? Yeah, so Victor Kim.
The dancer
from Quest Crew. Yeah. Yeah, so Victor Kim, his parents and my parents have been friends since I was a little kid.
Since Korea or like?
No, since America. So like when we were I'm talking about since I was like 5 or 4 years old. Yeah. So I've known Victor since we were little kids. And so they're still friends till this day, and they have dinner like every other Sunday. There's like Abe's parents. Like I call Abe my cousin only because I've known it since I was like 2 years old.
But they were friends before your guys' birth, or?
I think before my birth. Yeah. It's been a long fucking time, dude.
That's tight.
And so like my mom and his mom are best friends, so they talk on the phone a lot.
Well, that's pretty good, because that's a great segue to the question of the day. So the other day, I went on Twitter and I asked, like, we're about to go film. What's a good question, right? And I like this shit. And I got this one right here. Amelia 8924755. That's a lot of numbers, girl. But Amelia asked, you guys have the best group of friends. Tips on how to find the right people and to let go of the bad ones. I've been leaving people lately and kind of have none or no one, but they've hurt me bad and they weren't good friends. Is it better to be alone for some years, or should I go back?
Damn, dude, that's a deep one, man. Yeah. Oh shit, that opens up into a lot of things, man.
Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy how it just naturally kind of flowed into it. Yeah. Yeah, because I think friends is like, it's so important, right? Like we're social creatures. Even if you're an introvert and you like being alone, human beings are such social creatures. And for a lot of people on their deathbed, or like they say, you ask seniors, like, what's the number one thing you regret? Or like, what would you do differently in life? And everyone's like, I would have spent more time with friends and family. Oh, yeah. That's all they talk about, friends and family. That's what matters the most for human beings. Yeah. But like, when we're young, it's like we think about our career. We think about, our goals, our hobbies, and everything else that doesn't really matter.
When I was building friendships growing up, we talked about this. I think you and I were similar in the sense of like I think we could float and mold to a lot of different groups, right? Yeah. And so one of the things that kind of messed up in that sense was, well, here's a good thing about that is that I got to pick and choose who I wanted to be around with. But sometimes I felt like for me, up to a certain point in high school, I kept on trying to mold who I was to fit somebody else, right? Oh. So a lot of the times when people are young, they develop friendships not so much on how these people make me feel.
They want acceptance.
Yeah, but it's more like how these people will make me look.
Oh, like these are the cool girls. Yeah. I want to be a part of the hot cool girls.
Exactly.
Or like these are the guys that always like the popular dudes. I want to be in that group because I'm one of them.
Because if you look at the JK group, I feel like even the way things are staffed and the way people work in the company. Yeah. Everybody is very, very different, but the one thing that I think a lot of the people have in this company is that they're very true to themselves. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nobody in the company is there to kind of appease other people. So they still have their very own identity. Yeah. And that's what I really connect with at the end of the day.
And if they don't stick around very long.
Very true.
Yeah. That's I think you're right about that, because I always love people when they are comfortable with themselves. Because like it's like if you're a nerd, but you wear it with a badge of honor and you love your geek stuff and whatever, then to me it's like, that's you're cool because you're comfortable with yourself. Or like, like the Wong Fu guys. Yeah. I always told them they were gay. Like, that whole nice guy stuff. I was like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, what I loved about them is that they wore it with a badge of honor. They're like, yeah, I'm a nice guy. Like I'm like I'm not like these other guys. Like that's just who I am. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome, dude. I love that about you. Yeah. We met a lot of people that are always fronted. Like, come on, man, you're not from the hood. You're from somewhere else. But why do you speak that way? Yeah. You grew up around a bunch of white people, and then I don't know why you act like that. And then it's like, come on, man, you're not who you say you are. We can see right through you. Yeah. Fuck that.
And those are the people that I feel like we generally dislike. Yeah. Like, just to go back to the Wong Fu guys, like they grew up very different from us. Yeah. They grew up in a complete different environment. Even their content is different. Right. So even for me, when I first started off YouTube and I looked at the Wong Fu stuff, I was like, this shit's whack. Not because of what it looked like, it's because it didn't resonate with me.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, it's not, to me now, I respect them as artists. Like it's not, for sure. It's not bad work. Their work is great. And I love, and then the first thing that I loved about them is the Strangers Again video. Yeah. Cause I was like, that's something I can connect with regardless of like, taste. Yeah. It's just different taste. Yeah. Right. Like, it's different. It's like some people prefer hamburgers over pho or whatever. Yeah. So, in that sense, I agree. Yeah. Like whenever I was like, man, this is not for me. And then I think a lot of people who like their content were, high school, college girls, and like it was just a different group of people. Yeah, yeah.
But even then, no matter how different they are, I still resonate with them a lot. Like we still fuck with them heavy. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. And to go back to that, there's also a couple of YouTubers that I know where they're also like in that Asian American crowd. Every time I look at them, I just want to slap the fucking shit out of them, just because they're not comfortable in their own skin. Yeah. And every time like I've had a conversation with them, they always try to be something that they're not. Yeah. And people can sense that shit. Yeah. Like if you're the dweeb, just be the fucking dweeb, and then I could connect with that. I'll find some kind of common ground to spark a conversation, to be your friend. Yeah. But if you don't know who you are, if you're constantly bouncing around from different identities, then that shows me that I can't trust you. I don't trust you for shit. Yeah.
It's like some people go through this in junior high and high school and then they figure it out. Yeah. But some people, they don't get a chance to do this until they're older. Like, like I had a friend who was like, I made this friend like after college, right? And he was, I think he was always kind of like a geeky dude, but then like he finally was able to be cool with everybody because of his skills in film. Yeah. And then like he would keep bragging around us about like how he was in a frat and he was in this and all that. And I'm all like, I don't care what your history was. I don't, you don't, to me, it felt like he was trying to like always be like, yeah, I'm one of you guys. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm fascinated about something that's different that's unique to you, but I know you're lying. Yeah. That's what I don't like. It's like, stop fucking exaggerating and lying because you're just completely, you're a fraud. Yeah. Like you're not being real with me. I mean, if you were a part of band and if you're a part of these things, like tell me what that was like. Yeah. It's not like I'm going to be like, oh, you're a fucking band geek, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, Bart was a band geek. Yeah. Like, I don't,
Dude, there's this kid, when I went to UCR, so there was two kids. One guy, there's two Andys that were so fucking weird. There was Korean Andy, and then there was fucking Chinese Andy, right? So
don't name your kid Andy.
Yeah, do not name your kid Andy. If you're an Andy out there, But Andy, his name was spelled Andie. Right? Andie. I kid you not. That was how you spelled his fucking name. And the only way that I could differentiate them was I would just call him Andie. Right? And I would specifically do that. He hated that shit, but he used to fucking annoy me because he was like one of those dudes. So I just call him Andie. Yeah. But let me tell you how fucking phony this guy is, right? Number one, when I came to that school, I never acted like I was a thug, right? But I guess like when people hear you speak, they kind of assume what you are. Yeah. But mind you, like if you just looked at me, right? Like fucking dweeby glasses and like you would never think. But this guy, every time he spoke,
that's like when people don't really have any black friends, and then when they finally hang out around black people, they try to go extra urban and shit. Yeah. It was yo. I'm like, what the fuck? fuck, dude? It's so cringy, man.
So the funny thing about college is what you can do in college, and what you'll find out if you're not in college yet, you will always find these people and you'll sniff them out. When they go to a university, they go, okay, nobody knows me here. I'm going to create my own identity.
Yeah.
And this is what this guy was trying to do.
Yeah, they try to start fresh.
Yeah. So this motherfucker, right? He was by definition, and I'm not talking about like geek in terms of like what he likes. I'm talking about geek as in he is so cringy. He was so fucking cringy, dude. He showed up. I kid you not, when I first met him, it's like he looked up a video about how to walk like a thug, and then he tried to imitate it. You know what I mean?
Did it look like he had a broken leg?
Yeah. Dog, I cannot make this shit up. So he's walking around like, you know, just kind of like, yo. And then he wore this black wife beater. And
my God.
And like these baggy pants, which at the time weren't even in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this fool doing, dude? And then he's like, starts like, yeah, man, yo, what's up, man? Yo, I got some homies and stuff like that. I'm hard, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I'm sitting there just dying on the inside. Like, what is this guy fucking doing?
You're in college, you fool.
Exactly. He's in a university.
Yeah.
What's the whole point of this shit? So my last straw was this. So there was this dude in college. His name was James, and this guy was a klepto. He
likes stealing.
Loves stealing, and mind you, he's a rich kid. Like he's from Diamond Bar. He lives in the country. That fucking secluded gated area. That's where like Snoop lives and shit.
Yeah.
Guy's mad rich, but he's a klepto. Loves to steal. We used to go to Food for Less to get all of our shit.
Yeah.
I'm talking about he's so good at stealing that I didn't know how to steal shit until I saw him. I've never really stolen stuff, but he would steal stuff so well because he would take things as if it was already his.
Yeah.
That's what it would look like.
That's how you got to steal.
Yeah. And it just doesn't look like he's stealing anything.
Yeah, you can't be like.
Exactly. He just walks in.
Yeah, you go, well.
And so for him, what he would do is he would steal his Hungry Man dinners. And so we would put that in our dorm fridges, right?
That was stealing shit like he's poor.
He's rich though. I'm talking he's balling, bro.
Acts like he's Aladdin and needs an apple and shit.
Yo,
he's so rich. Why the fuck is he stealing food, dude?
I don't know. I'm talking about he's so fucking rich. When we went to his place out in Diamond Bar, like his place looks like a fucking castle. He had a tennis court in the back, and I think like it looked like a helicopter landing pad. I think I'm exaggerating it right now, but that's what it looked like to me. And back in the day, he had like a 50-inch plasma TV, and that shit was like 10 grand.
Wow.
This is like in 2005.
Yeah.
So he had that on his wall. That's how ballin' he is. And mind you, he's 18 at this point. But anyways, he's stealing some shit, right?
So he stole for the thrill.
Yeah. So just the Hungry Man dinners, stole it. And so when we went back to the dorm, we're like, yo, we got to put this in all of everybody's fridges. Yeah. We're just giving it to everybody in the dorm.
Yeah.
We'll just put it in their fridges and they'll be cool with it. Here, just take it anyways. It was free. So this dude, Andy, comes up, right? I fucking shit you not. Walks up to, he goes, hey. So this dude, his name is Rishi. He goes, hey, Rishi, can I talk to you? He goes, Rishi, yo, man, I've been into some shit. So I can't have these Hungry Man dinners in my fridge because, you know, because the popo might come after me. Dog. I'm fucking cringing just talking about this. I completely forgot about this guy. He goes, yo, so I need you to take the Hungry Man dinners out because I might get into some shit. You know, the cops be looking after me. They got my phone tapped.
Oh my God.
I'm not even fucking shitting you, dude. And I got so
He's
fucking
under
mad.
surveillance and the Hungry Man dinners might put him in a jail.
Dude, I got so fucking mad. Like I had it at this point.
Oh my God.
I looked at this dude and I said, dude, what the fuck are you talking about, man? What is the cops gonna fucking fly through the fucking window and scream, where's the Hungry Man dinners? Nobody gives a fuck, dude. I was so mad.
Especially because he's such a thug. You could tell that he feels guilty. He's afraid.
Yep.
He doesn't want to be caught with stolen goods.
From Hungry Man dinners.
I know.
And like,
that's how you know how innocent he is.
Oh God, dude, it made me cringe.
He probably was getting anxiety, like, oh my God, not the Salisbury steak. That one's highly sought after.
At that point, I just kept on fucking with the guy because he irritated me so much. It was like, dude, this is not working for you. Just be yourself. So
I would have kept it going. That's hilarious, dude.
That was the last straw
He's
for me.
under investigation. From what? Man, they got my phone tapped, man.
Dog.
I'm a secret agent, you know, like I got...
Oh, shit.
I got this bubblegum thing I got going on, you know, I've been stealing Winter Fresh.
You guys are saying like, when I write a lot of these scripts... And you see these weird characters that pop up, is literally these type of human beings that I meet.
There's nothing funnier than the truth.
There's nothing funnier. Like, it almost sounds so made up, but I can't even make shit up like this. So there's even the Kim Jong-il character. If you guys remember that kid, that is based off of a real human being that I've met. Number one is based off my uncle, who's a weirdo.
Yeah.
And number two is also the other Andy in the college dorm that I met.
Yeah.
And that's who I base these characters off of.
Yeah.
But these people, nobody fucked with them because they just couldn't be themselves.
Right.
They just really couldn't. And some people too, they're so good at hiding it that a lot of people buy into it.
Yeah.
There was another.
I mean, I've been fooled many times. Yeah.
It's likable people.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes things are too perfect, but you just can't accept that something might be wrong with this dude because you like being around him and hanging out. Like, even in relationships, right? I mean, guys and girls get manipulated all the time.
Yeah.
From like, it's like nice guys. Like, sometimes there's genuine nice guys, but there's like those weird ones that are like, they actually want to bone the crap out of this girl, but then they're pretending to be the friend.
It's the church oppa, dude.
Yeah. But they're not honest with their feelings and shit. And then, but they don't want to let go of that like closeness with them.
Yeah. Well, guys also do that just because they're afraid of rejection. Like, they could always just say, "Oh, I was just trying to be your friend."
Yeah, but that's manipulation.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not, and then they don't know that they're doing it. But I think a lot of these guys too, they don't know that how fraudulent they are.
Yeah.
I think they just really want to be something. So I hate that term, like, fake it till you make it, because a lot of people misinterpret what that means.
Oh, that's right.
You know, like, they're going to dress the part, they're going to act the part because they want to be accepted as this image of who they want to be. It's pretty complex if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's like a person who is like, let's say they have low confidence, right? Mm-hmm. But they like, I'm in college now, I'm gonna start fresh. Like, I used to be bullied all the time in high school, but now I'm gonna change things. So now I'm gonna be like super confident and I'm gonna be different. And that's cool and all, but there's a fine line between like challenging yourself and being a fraud. And I think the people that don't understand the difference, they become frauds because they do shortcuts.
And like, for that kid and if you're listening to this, dude, you were fucking weird. What you could have done, conversely, was not pretend to be a thug. You could have just been confident in who you are, the dweeb. And he was a really smart guy. Yeah. You could have just been confident in that human being. And mind you, in our dorm, there was a lot of like dweeby dudes, but they were so dope because they just were open about who they were. And that was the cool part, was their confidence. And that was the difference, man. Yo, I got a homie hit me up recently. His name is Tony. Guy grew up in Gardena just like you. But he was like a magnet school student, and he never pretended like to be a thug or anything. But he was to me, he was such a cool dude just because I could connect with him so well because he was always honest with himself. Yeah. Now, mind you, he was also weird, but a weird type of way that I like. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he was so fucking weird, this guy. So we were dorm mates, and then one day he told me to come into the bathroom. He goes, "Hey, David, can you check out my pee real quick?" And I was like, all right, we're always, I'm like, all right, I'll check out your pee. He goes, "Yo, is that a normal color?" Bro, I'm talking about his pee was pure brown.
What? Does he not drink water?
So check this out. I go, "Yo, you're dehydrated."
Yeah.
Right? And he has migraines all the time. I'm like,
fucking... that's dehydration right there.
I was like, "You're dehydrated. Why is your pee so brown?" Right? I was like, "When's the last time you drank water?" He goes, "I don't drink water." I was like,
he said it as a statement. "I don't drink water."
I was like, "Yo,
that's for peasants."
Yo, Tony, I'm like, "You don't drink water?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm thinking about giving up soda for Lent so I could drink more water." I was like, "Wait, you mean you don't drink water a lot?" He goes, "No, I don't drink water." He hasn't drank water since he was a kid, and he only drinks soda.
I'm surprised he's not diabetic.
Joe, that's what I'm saying. Well, he had gout before and shit too, but
fuck.
So he wasn't really fat either. Yeah. So he only drank soda, specifically Cactus Cooler. He got me into Cactus Cooler.
Cactus.
Joe, NorCal didn't have Cactus Cooler.
Really?
It didn't have Cactus Cooler at that time.
That's such an elementary drink, dude.
Yeah. So he was like, "Yo, what do you know about Cactus Cooler?" I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is Cactus Cooler?" I had that shit. One of my favorite sodas on earth.
What the fuck?
They had no idea, but he only drank Cactus Cooler, and I think it was a Squirt or some shit like that.
Oh, he's one of those guys.
Yeah, so for Lent, he gave up soda, and in the first 2 weeks, I kid you not, he could barely make it to school because of the migraines he was having from withdrawal.
Fuck.
From the sugar withdrawal.
Yeah.
And so he said that when he drank water, it tasted like he was drinking like liquid metal.
Oh, because it's disgusting to him.
Yeah,
because it doesn't taste like sugar and...
Yeah, and so that dude, he was so fucking weird, but I fuck with him a lot.
Yeah.
He just never drank water before.
Yeah. But I mean, that's because of the type of people we are.
Yeah.
Like we have a lot of eclectic friends.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think the normal world out there is very judgmental, very uncomfortable, very political. Like I mean, it's difficult. Like a lot of, like if we, we're comfortable with ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But imagine being self-conscious again and worried about the opinions of other people, how they judge you, right? I think that becomes a real threat for most people. So when you're out there trying to make friends, it's like you feel like you're weird and different and you just want people to accept you. I think that's what a lot of people go through. So for them, it's hard to make friends, where I had to think about this a lot because like it comes natural to me.
Yeah.
Like if I want to talk to someone, I talk to someone. I don't give a fuck what they think. You're my entertainment. And if I like you, I choose to be your friend or not, right? Like that's how I think social people kind of think. If you're social, you're just like opening your mouth and just like killing time. And these thoughts don't even like happen in my head.
Oh, there's no game plan, it just happens. It just flows out.
And then you become natural at doing it because we've done it for so many years. But I had to think about it a lot because Jess is actually very like introverted. Well, in a way where she's very selective with her friends. She has like a handful of homegirls that she spent, years being close with. And then what I noticed was like, oh shit, we're like almost the opposite. Like she can be business is what I call it. Like most people, they have to be business, right? Like when you go to the workplace or when you go shopping, everybody has this like kind of role that they're playing.
Yeah.
They don't show their real self. I mean, she's real. She doesn't front. But I think just by over the years talking to her, and I was like, oh, fuck, this is what a lot of our fans go through.
Yeah.
Is, they don't know if people accept them. They don't know if they trust people. There's just a lot of like uncertainty that goes in through their minds. So I think like they can't easily make friends. And once people get burned, it's like a bad breakup. You get your heart broken. You don't want to try again. All this stuff happens. But to me, humans have always been entertainment. And I've been fucked over. But I kind of like, oh, well, like I've always had a lot of close friends. So if I lose one, I'm like, I got 10 more. Not that one wasn't important, but I always kind of had this, I guess, defense mechanism in my head that like, kind of like, well, that sucked. And then I move on. But then I learned from it. Like there are times, I think the younger I was, it was like, it burned me and I stuck on and I was like, I can't believe I got fucked over and all that. But then like how much time I spent on feeling fucked over has changed over the years. And then after a while, you just get used to it. It's like being rejected a lot. Like in the very beginning, you talk to girls and then she rejects you and then you're heartbroken. You don't want to try. Yeah. But you keep trying and trying and trying. And if a girl tells you no, it's like, okay. Yeah. Like, so what? It doesn't make me a shitty person or whatever.
We're going to get into this quick little sponsored ad real quick. So let's dive into that. Can I tell you guys something? Can I tell you what this Genius Brain podcast is brought to you by? I think it's Skillshare. Multiple notes for no damn reason. So if you guys don't know what Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 25,000 classes in design, business, and more. You'll discover countless ways to fuel your curiosity, creativity, and career. So basically what I'm saying is that if you have a new passion out there, you have a side hustle that you want to start or begin, this is a great way to go at it. Skillshare basically gives you that knowledge at your motherfucking fingertips, my friends. So for me, the classes that I'm taking right now specifically have to do with photography because photography is something that I like to do on the side. And because I did it through an apprenticeship back in the day, there's a lot of I guess you could say like fundamental basics that I don't know, and going through these courses helped me out, and it kind of adheres to the way that I like to learn, which is on my own time. So a lot of the times when you go through traditional courses or classes, sometimes it's a little derived and it doesn't teach you the things that you want to learn. What with Skillshare, it has like your own library and you could, fast forward or rewind or learn however the hell you want. So that's why I fuck with Skillshare a lot. So remember, people, join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for my listeners. You get 2 months of Skillshare
for free. That's right. Skillshare is offering Genius Brain listeners 2 months of unlimited access to over 25,000 classes for free. To sign up, go to Skillshare.com/brain. Again, go to Skillshare.com/brain to start your 2 months now. That is Skillshare.com/brain. When you guys are on there, let me know the courses that you're taking. If you like it, let me know in the comments below, because you know what? I fucks with it. I'm using it. And trust me, people, my photo skills is getting up there. Skillshare.
You know, and also, like, I think just to go back to that girl's question, is like you're saying you're cutting people out, and you're not getting close to these people anymore. You're finding new people. Or you find yourself being alone. Sometimes, as you get older, you find out that people either grow with you or they grow without you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's so true. We lost a lot of friends.
Oh, for sure. You know, and sometimes, like, you know, the people that you heavily fuck with, you just grow to be different people. And that happens all the time. And it's okay. You know, it's not a knock on them. It's not a knock on yourself either. It's just more like, oh shit, I guess we don't have as much as in common as we used to.
Yeah.
So for example, you know, probably for us, like the people that we fuck with a lot, we were doing a lot of dumb shit together.
Yeah.
But once we stopped doing that dumb shit, that was the only thing that was really connecting us.
Yeah.
We didn't really have the same values. We didn't really value education the same. We didn't value business, money, family the same. It was like, oh, I just like doing dumb shit with you. But now that I'm not doing it, we have nothing to talk about. We have nothing in common.
Yeah, that's true.
And so for her or him, maybe that was the case. Amelia, right? So her, maybe that was the case for you, or on top of that, and you find yourself being alone right now. Well, that's okay. Yeah. You know, some people just have to be okay with being alone.
Yeah.
And for me too, I think in high school, even when I did hang out and I was floating between all these groups, sometimes it felt like I was alone because I wasn't comfortable with who I was.
Yeah.
You know, and that was
you don't know who you want to be around.
Yeah.
Because I think the worst thing to do is hold on to shitty friends. Mm-hmm. If you know in your heart that like you hang out in this group and you don't feel right, there's a lot of toxic shit going on, like people talking behind each other's backs, doing shady stuff, like just you don't see a future. Like sometimes you'll be the only friend in a group of friends that want to elevate, that want to become better, but your friends don't, right? This happens all the time. I had a group of friends that all they wanted to do was drink every weekend, and they'll be like, yeah, let's get together, do business, and then the business meeting will turn into a drink fest. Yeah, and that made me feel like, fuck, dude, I want to do something. I want to do something else. Or like even a hobby, like you might want to pick up a hobby. You want to tell your friends, let's go work out together, and they don't want to do it. And you could only try so hard till you got to go find a new set of friends. Mm-hmm. Back then it was difficult to do, but now with online, like you can do it. But I also think like sometimes people think their friends are shitty or think something's wrong. But it's usually them.
Oh, yeah. There's that case.
There's that too. But in the very beginning, I think people have to figure out, like, what is going on? Like, why don't you like your group of friends? Like, what did they do something? Like, when people go, oh, they did me wrong. It's like, what do you mean they did you wrong? Oh, they criticized my dreams. And I'm like, man, that's stupid. Yeah. Like, really did you wrong is like, what did they do? Like, did they steal from you? You know, did they spread a rumor behind your back? Like, are they really violating trust? Like, that's really fucked up. Most other things is just a misunderstanding and you just don't communicate.
Yeah, because there could be certain cases too. For example, like if we're giving you this advice and you could only be telling us, so you're only telling us literally 1% of the story.
Yeah, there's no one overall rule.
Right?
Yeah.
And so let's just use that example for a case, right? So let's say somebody goes, well, I'm leaving this group of friends because they always shit on my dreams. And because they shit on my dreams, I'm not going anywhere. So I got to leave these people. Well, hold on for a second. Well, let's see your habits, right? What if in that scenario, you're actually the fuck up. You keep saying you're going to do something and you never, ever, ever try it or accomplish it because you're lazy and you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, and they're just laughing at you because you're all talk.
Yeah, because you're wasting their time.
Yeah, and they feel like you're lying to them.
Yeah.
That can happen too. I've seen it both ways where there's actually a good group of friends, but this one friend thinks that everybody is against them. When in reality, they're just trying to set them straight. Like, man, quit fucking up. But it's like, oh, you don't believe in my dreams. Shut up, dude. Yeah. I mean, there's cases like that, but there's also cases where, you know, there's that person that always gets stepped on because they're so accommodating to everybody. And it's like, you got to leave that shitty group of friends, man. Those people are fucking toxic.
Yeah, dude, with this girl, she's not like that, but it's kind of like she's so fucking nice in our group where you ever hang out with people, and this is back in the day when we didn't have like a stable job or a lot of money. And when we go out to eat, there's 7 people out there, but for some reason, when everybody puts in their money, we're always short like $20 or $30.
Yeah.
Right. So why the fuck are we short $20 or $30?
Yeah.
Well, this girl would be that girl that would always just be like, she would just put in an extra 50.
Damn.
And I think like that kind of sucked because it got to a point where certain people in that group,
they take advantage.
They took advantage.
Yeah.
They expected her to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I got kind of sick of it. It's like, yo, and I had to take her side. It's like, yo, you got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, well, we're always short. It's like, it's because you keep enabling that type of habits and you're allowing people to step over you. And she started feeling a certain way about it even before I had that conversation with her. She felt
Does she enjoy rest? Does she feel like I get to rescue them? Like maybe there's a part of her that likes doing it.
She's always just been that part that she's always been hyper accommodating.
Yeah.
But I think that conversation had to happen with her because she started feeling like people were taking advantage of her, which they were.
Yeah.
But she was also enabling it.
Yeah.
So you could say that until up to a certain point. But if you're also getting that type of enjoyment of, oh, I'm bailing these people out, and then you keep doing it without saying anything, then you have to take the responsibility of, oh, I'm enabling this type of behavior. So they just expect it at a certain point.
Yeah.
You know? So for her, it was like, you got to take a step back and say, oh, maybe this is a little bit my fault as well, which maybe in this case, I don't know. And once again, we're just kind of shooting in the dark unless you give us specifics.
Yeah.
If you're losing all of your friends, it could be there's something that you're misinterpreting too.
Right.
Misinterpreting too.
I mean, when people see our friendship and everything, the vlogs and the happy times, like they're getting all the happy shit. And they don't get the pains that we went through as a group.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't want to set up this false expectation, but at the end of the day, it is entertainment. Like we're not recording the drama that we have within the group because that's just not the kind of channel we are.
Yeah.
Whereas other vloggers might record that shit. But I think like when people look at their humans, right, just relationship and humans in general, it's like they think we're supposed to be happy 24/7. They think we're supposed to be like no problems, like, oh, you click. So clicking means it's effortless. And I'm like, I think that's the worst thing that's happened to humanity because you watch these movies of like perfect romance and like perfect friendships and there's no problems and everything's always positive and shit. And I think that's what fucks people up because you're supposed to be annoyed at your family and your friends.
Yeah.
Like it's normal. You spend enough time with anybody, I bet you annoy yourself. If you're alone and you think all fucking day, you annoy yourself.
Yeah.
It's gonna be annoying. And I think as long as this human being has good intentions, genuine traits, and I know good intentions is subjective, right? Because everybody doesn't think that they're shady. Even if they're being shady, everybody thinks that what they're doing is right. So like, you have to put into perspective, like, do you and your values line up with them? And that's all you got to worry about. And it's like, can you feel like you trust them?
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you find people like that? I think it's a skill. Like, that's why they call it social skill, right? Like, it's not something that you wake up one day and then it's like, oh, I got it. Like just the other day, we did this podcast with Mario and she was talking about how she was so innocent and sheltered that like she got fucked over a lot socially. And those things can burn people and make you afraid to want to make friends, right? But, you know, if you keep challenging yourself, what ends up happening is you build this social skill and it's like you become a hound dog. You could sniff out bullshit before it happens.
Yeah.
But unless you go through this, you won't ever learn it. And I think that becomes something that holds people back. Or I think that's also why like now everyone's kind of more antisocial and they like to stay home because when you're dealing with people through text or whatever, it's not as harmful, I guess, as like physically being there, building a relationship and then having a falling out.
Yeah. I remember when people were texting each other a lot back in the day, I used to hate texting. I used to only call. Like I thought texting was dumb. Like I genuinely disliked it. People would say, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like, why don't you just call me and ask, and then we could discuss it.
Yeah.
But after a while, I guess I don't even know when that switch happened where I preferred texting over calling.
It's because time is valuable, man.
Oh, that's right. Because when we have to contact like 8 people about
it's more efficient.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
I became an adult. That's why.
Well, you know what though? Like anytime when it comes to things that needs more attention, I either pick up the phone or I meet them face to face. Cause like I've got into a lot of miscommunicating texts, like especially when something's serious, right? Whether it's business or anything else, you're trying to explain yourself. You can't. It's difficult to do it over text, and then I think sometimes text causes more problems, like in relationships or whatever. So it's like if I got to sort out in my head, all right, is this going to take more than a few sentences to explain? Then I go, hey, let's talk later.
Yeah,
because I've been to so many frustrating situations, and then later when we talk face to face, it's like, oh, that's what you meant. Oh, I meant it like this.
Yeah,
and you're like, I hate that. I hate wasting time explaining myself 5 times.
Yeah,
I want to do it once, and then like, because most fights I've recognized comes with it happens because there's not a clear line of communication. You're not understanding each other. And then I'm like, what are the things that's holding me back from understanding them? One is like, maybe I don't know their tone when they're typing. I don't know what's on their face. So maybe I had a stressful day. So I'm reading that text in a negative way, thinking that they're being negative.
Yeah.
Or like, there's just a lot of these small little nuances that are very important in communication that I'm like, oh man, if this is a serious topic, like you got to do this face to face, hear their thoughts, give them a chance to explain themselves. And then you can figure out like, if you can be cool and you can find a middle ground.
Yeah.
But I don't think people do the work to try to fix shit. Like it's always like, I'm going to win because you hurt my feelings, and I'm going to tell you how much you hurt my feelings and you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's basically how people don't evolve.
Yeah. It's such a weird thing, man. Like the human relationships are something that really takes a lot of time to curate and develop.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things on earth.
Yeah, and when people say, who are you really close? Like you have so many friends, and I genuinely have more acquaintances than I do have really good friends.
I think that's the thing too. People don't know the difference of like the levels of closeness. Mm-hmm. If you notice that, like a lot of people go, oh, you're tight with so many people. That's what they see or that's what they think. It's like, I get along with a lot of people, but there's a difference, right? Like I think if you're not socially intelligent or socially versed, like people don't have layers of protection. What I noticed is like, and this is just coming from like talking to people who are more introverted and less social. They're much more afraid because they're actually more, they're more loving in a way. Like not to say we're not loving people, but they
give a lot of fucks.
They give too much love, and they don't know how to compartmentalize. They don't know how to like, hey, you only get like 25% love because that's how much you deserve, but we'll work till that 100. So like, there's got to be different levels.
I think that's
If you're 100% to everybody all the time, then you're gonna get hurt. So you got to learn like, hey, now we earned 10% in this relationship. Now it's 20%, and you got to keep going. And then it's not like a test, but it is because it's like, how much trust and how vulnerable can I be with this person? You take steps toward it. But like a lot of people, like they just want to give it 100% every time because they're like, oh, I don't want to. It's too much thinking.
That's just like my. That kind of just wraps back to my dad.
Yeah,
right.
He's the same way. 100% every time.
100% love and caring. I think that's the religious side of him. But when that burn happens, when you give 100% and you get burned back 200%, it hurts a lot more. And that's kind of crazy because I definitely feel like that's what happened to my dad, and that's what I would see a lot growing up. And it made him into a person who he's not negative, but it's more he's very wary of people now. Yeah, because maybe in his case, he should be less wary of other people, but more cautious about how he handles his trust a lot. Because just because you do well by somebody doesn't mean they'll do the same back to you. And that's kind of the lesson that he learned.
Yeah.
And that's just one of those things that people have to learn when they really do give, like, out of their heart.
Yeah, if you notice, a lot of our friends who claim they don't like people or they're more antisocial, they're some of the most caring people in the world.
Yeah.
Because they care so much and they're so sensitive, and then they give so much to the people. I think they get jaded because they don't get that same feeling or commitment that they want to give. And I'm like, y'all too thirsty, man. That's what I found out, because I thought, antisocial people just hated people. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
What's there to hate? Nothing happened. It's like, oh, that makes a lot of fucking sense. It's because they're extra sensitive. They're extra, like, the slightest thing goes wrong, it hurts them a lot. For me, it's just like, boom, it bounces off. And I'm like, well, who are you to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said a few things, but I don't know. I could still like you.
Yeah, that interpretation, even when we say, oh, that's a homie, like, that's a very loose term. You know, doesn't mean like I'm going to call this guy up to be at my wedding or anything. It just means he's an associate of mine. It's a homie. Yeah,
and I have expectations like, this person is not going to fucking come to my rescue. This person is not going to be there for me if things are going, sour in my relationship. But I like their company.
Yeah.
There's a difference between enjoying someone's company and they're my entertainment. They're my like, it's kind of fucked up to say they're my entertainment, but like, in most cases, why you make friends? You make friends to share a thing. Like a hobby, or like you like to get together and you fucking play basketball or whatever, right? Like, and then that might lead to like, oh shit, like we both are into the same kind of girls, and then we talk about girls or whatever, or whatever, and then there's different levels to it, right? And then you start finding more common ground, and then you start caring about each other, and then you start realizing that you both have maybe the same goals, or you believe in the same values, and then you're more like-minded, and you just enjoy each other's company. And then there's different levels, but I think people don't know how to start that level, and they don't know, how to gauge what's right. And, it's almost like they go, oh, should I wait 3 days to call her? Or should I like call her when I get her number?
Yeah.
Like there's these different things that people second guess, and there's rules. They don't know what the rules are.
There's a lot of things that kind of bleed into this too, where it also bleed into people who say, oh, don't do business with friends. And this is where it kind of gets a little confusing, because a lot of people who say, oh, I started this business with a friend. They really weren't your friend though.
No.
You were a homie, and then you guys discussed something, and then you said, yo, that'd be a great idea if we got into this.
Yeah.
And you didn't really think about what your relationship is with this person, because if this person was a friend, like somebody really tight, then you should have known about these habits that they've had.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we didn't do anything together projects wise until like 3 years or something into our friendship. And that's because I think, me and you both are more like we have that mindset where it's like, I don't want to just jump into anything, but that's not to say that I don't trust you. It's like, well, let's see if something comes up that's mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
But you're right about this. It's like, oh, don't do business with friends and family. It's like, you guys don't know each other. You guys got excited about the idea, but you didn't communicate. And I think that's the whole thing about friendship, right? Is like, you can comfortably be honest and communicate everything without being judged.
Yeah.
Or even if you do be judged, even if you are judged, you're not unaccepted.
Yeah.
Like I could say anything, but I know that like we're both accepting of each other.
Yeah.
Right. So like I have the type of comfortable friendship with all of my friends / business partners, where even if it's written on a contract, if I have a different feeling about it, I could talk to them and I can be like, hey, so this is how I feel. I think I fucked up when I wrote this contract. This is how I feel today. Now, I know by law, I'm bound to this, but how do you feel about it?
Yeah.
And then I feel comfortable that I could open up that conversation with any of them, and they might disagree, but I'm okay with that. So that's what it's all about, is the ability to be okay with just talking about everything.
Yeah.
And then making the friendship the priority, not the business or anything else. That's how like when they go, oh, fucking, you should never do business with friends. It'll ruin your friendship. Nah, man, your friendship was weak.
Yeah.
Because the business or any other thing should never ruin a friendship.
Yeah.
If it was strong to begin with, you know, and wouldn't you rather have your friendship tested to see how dedicated they are? I would. I don't want to waste 15 years with someone just to know that I had a like weak friendship.
That's because you're a gambler, baby. I like to gamble, motherfucker.
But that's how I am, though. Like I always told people, like I rather have if my girlfriend's gonna cheat on me or my wife or whatever, right? Like I rather have them do it earlier than later.
Yeah.
Because if I spend so much more time with them, it's like that's what makes it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think also too, we take personal responsibility for a lot of the stuff that we do, which I feel from the people who aren't my close friends, they don't do that. They don't, let's say like in a business thing, like something messed up that I propose, I'm not gonna say, oh shit, well Joe, you did. I'll be like, oh shit, my bad guys, this fucked up, you know? And I take full responsibility and then we try to move on from it, which is something that's very important for me in a business, because every time I've had a bad business interaction, because people did not take personal responsibility for the stuff that they messed up on.
They don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, as a business partner, I'll call things out, not to shame you, but to say, oh shit, this is a problem in our business. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're dumb. It's just, I'm not going to just let it slide by because I'm worried about your fucking feelings.
Yeah.
You know, same for me. You know, so one of the businesses that I had, it's, you know, I fixed it from the ground up. They know, you know, we went from like a business that was making $50 a day to averaging about 25 grand a month.
Yeah.
You know, and it, you know, that's what I did for it. So at the end of the day, when we had business problems, they brought that up. They go, well, I feel like when you bring things up, like you always make it feel like it's our fault. And I'm like, hold on a second.
You probably talk to them like they're idiots.
Yeah. So I said, well, what's the problem then? Like, let me know. It's like, well, the other day you mentioned this, and that. And I was like, that's not me saying I have a problem with you. I looked at the numbers of the sales and I said, this, and this doesn't sell. It just turns out that you made it, that it's your thing.
Right. Because a lot of people take things personally.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you can't have like business and friends mix. Because if your friend's the kind of person that like, let's say, doesn't like to be challenged, that doesn't like confrontation, that doesn't like to be wrong, then they're just not mature.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It was such a weird concept because when we had that meeting, and I remember this was a while back, and I looked at them, I was like, okay, cool. So if that's how you guys feel, and I was like, I'm not mad about that. Like, I want you guys to be happy. So if you feel bad about me pointing out things that aren't doing well in the sales, and I want to take it off the menu, what's the solution? And also, too, how about in this meeting, you guys bring up something that I'm not doing right?
Yeah.
And then we'll fix it. Dead silence.
It's because they don't know how to think solution based.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. Like, let's say you critique someone's, like, let's say I'm a chef, right? And you critique my food, and then you say it's too salty. Yeah. And I go, fuck you, it's not salty. Yeah. What are you talking about? You don't know shit about food. You know what? No. You didn't even go to cooking school, so you're irrelevant. Yeah. That's what ends up happening because you pretty much bruise this person. In a lot of people, they identify themselves with the things that they do. So they don't know themselves, right? So it's like, let's say you said something about their methods or actions are incorrect, which is fucking valid. It's a business. And even as friends, you should be able to say shit like that. But when they hear that, this is what the only thing that they hear is you're wrong. Yeah. So that's all maturity though, right? Like it's like people that have an ego, they immediately want to protect that they're not wrong. They want to be right. And then nothing moves forward because all they're doing is focusing on how they're right. So when you ask them, okay, let's work on a solution, they're like blindsided. Like, wait, solution? No. We don't need a solution because I'm doing everything right.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that to me is a primitive mind. Like, you're not going to get anywhere in life thinking like that, but they're unaware. Like, they don't have the capacity in their mind yet to understand that this is pointless. Like, it's not going to move anything forward. Yeah. All they want to do is feel right. So it's more like a feeling preservation thing.
Yeah, that feeling part was the stuff that I didn't really understand because when we open up a business, there's a lot of heart to it, but you also can't deny statistics and numbers, right?
Well, because your results, right? You want to move past it. You want to get results. You want to build something. You have a greater good mentality. Yeah. You have to understand how selfish most people are. And they're unaware like how selfish they are. I think some people, they care more about preserving their self-image than profit or effectiveness and once you realize that, I think like that's why it feels pretty lonely. Like there's a lot of that's what a lot of people are, and that's why they're not successful. That's why they're not be able to challenge themselves to grow or anything. Nobody recognizes that they all have this issue.
Yeah,
and it's like it's pointless, but they don't even know that this thing called the ego exists.
Yeah, man, I wish I would have talked to you about this before because it was so fucking weird because I didn't understand. I could not wrap my head around it, right? So they like for me, like for example, like when I added something to what we were creating and it didn't do as well as I thought it would, I said, take it off. You know?
And then they started arguing about how good it is.
Yeah.
Even if numbers and statistics show that it doesn't sell well.
Yeah.
Or if it's just a wasteful item and we lose money on it. But it was my idea, David. I cared about it. I really want this, you know?
It's like it's not paying these employees. It's not doing anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's just for you. It's for you to feel good about your product. And like I'm talking about people, this motherfucker, this person created like this dish and then they ate it and they go, it's amazing, right? And I ate it and I was like, I don't like it. It's not good.
Yeah.
Right. And they go, what do you mean you don't like it? I'm like, it's just I don't like it. Right. And they're like, okay, well, I think it tastes good. I'm like, cool. Well, let's leave it on the menu. Fucking didn't sell for shit. Didn't sell for shit.
Damn.
And then
you gave it a chance.
Yeah.
To see what the people voted. And then they didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal.
Force it.
I still gave it an opportunity.
Yeah.
And even afterwards, I found out after I took it off the menu, they came back through the other partner. Like, yeah, they were pretty pissed at you. They took it off the menu. And I'm like, you were making us lose money. How can you be mad at me? You know?
Yeah.
Because it was, like you said, they wanted to be right.
Yeah.
So right. They're like, well, I know what's good.
Yeah.
Well, clearly you don't, you fucking sack of shit.
Yeah.
Because all of our customer base hated it.
Yeah.
The partners didn't like it. So what the fuck do you know? Maybe you should stop smoking fucking 2 fucking packs of cigarettes a day. Then you might have taste buds, you slut bag. Stupid bitch. As you can tell, I'm a little salty as fucking shit.
No, but what you're going through isn't unique. Like, this is the number one reason why I think people can't work in groups. People can't become more successful. It's like no one realizes the battle that they have is within themselves because everybody thinks it's everyone else. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, oh, you don't fucking know good food or you don't know good film or whatever, right? Like the problem comes when they identify who they are with what they do. It's like what they do is not who they are. Yeah. But then if you realize like how a lot of nerds, right? A lot of nerds be like, yeah, I'm so logical. Everyone's so fucking stupid. But they identify themselves with their intelligence or their skills. Mm-hmm. So that's why they have to debate like a motherfucker because they don't want to be wrong. Mm-hmm. Because if they're wrong, then they're stupid. And if they're stupid, then that's not the image of who they want to be.
Yeah, they don't take it as, oh shit, I fucked up. My bad, Joe. They don't feel apologetic for it. You know what I mean? Because if I mess up, I don't know if I should feel this way, but I'm like, fuck, I fucked up. And I try to say, next time I won't do this again. And I'll see what I'll do to better this company, right? Because I'm not just thinking about myself. I'm thinking about everybody else. I'm thinking about these kids that we hired on. They have to get their bills paid. And if this doesn't do well, then they lose a fucking job.
Exactly. But that's because you grew up in a business.
Yeah.
That's because you think about like how everyone is affected by your actions. Most people can't even think there because they've never been in a position where they had to think that way. Yeah. So I wish everybody had the opportunity to be a boss or to own a business, to hire people, because in most people's lives, you're dependent to somebody. Like we grow up, we're dependent to our parents, right? And then like, even the school system, when you're in college, you're dependent to your teachers. You get your grades. That's what you're valued as or whatever. That's the economy of the school, right? And then you go into the workplace. You're given orders. You work and then you want to please your managers. You want to do good at your job. So you're servicing as an individual to a higher being, like a authority figure, right? So a lot of people go, I don't know how to become independent. Well, yeah, like your whole life's been a dependent. So now you want to act and think independent, but it's difficult because you've been trained all your life to just please your superiors and that's it. But what about your peers? What about group work? Like even nobody's done effective group work. If you've done group work in high school, college or whatever, like everyone wants to slack, right? But that's why it's like I get a lot of emails and fucking messages from fans that are like, man, me and my friends want to get together and do this stuff, but nobody's motivated. No one shows up on time. How many times have you heard that?
Yeah.
And we've experienced that too. A lot of fucking laziness. They can't get together and do shit and do group work and be independent and work as equals. And I think that transfers to the friendship.
Yeah.
Like it's difficult to have a group of friends because a lot of people are just all over the place and just worrying about themselves and not knowing like, yeah, hey, this is the fucking effort we got to do to have a dope ass friendship that lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a lot to think about, man. It's a lot to do and a lot to think about. But the cool thing is if you work at it, it's a guarantee that you're going to be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess just to wrap it all up, there's no set equation for this shit. And if you're a young person, you're just going to have to get burned a couple of times to figure it out. And then, like Joe said, you'll develop that keen sense of smell and you'll sniff people out eventually. But if you're going through a phase right now where you feel like you have to cut people out to better yourself, then that's just a part of the growing process. Or maybe you're a piece of shit. Maybe you're the cancer.
Yeah.
And if you look back and you're like, oh shit, maybe I'm the one that's fucking up, then change your motherfucking ways.
Yep.
And you'll be good. But yo, that wraps that episode. Yo, I like this thing, man. You guys should just send us shit.
Yeah.
That we could help you guys out. We'll call this. No, it's still gonna be called Genius Brain. But remember, guys, you guys could check us out on Spotify, Stitcher, all those audio platforms, specifically iTunes. Give us that 5-star.
Please.
Leave in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube about stuff that you guys want to talk about. Make personal stories. If you have something that you could be specific about, then we could help out even more.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys next time. And Genius Brain out.
Bye-bye.